And I mean, is that would be one of the professional challenges you faced, understanding the way the system works and operates here, Seshu. Were there any other professional challenges that you
Yeah,
faced in those?
that's right. And one of the things or issues, day-to-day consultation, you're starting in a new country, in a new culture, and in a where medicine is practiced a little bit different. Medicine is the same, but the way it is practiced is a little bit different. And mental health was a big challenge. Women's health, dermatology, understanding medical legal requirements here. For example, from where I came, mental health is always a stigma. I'm hoping things are changing back home now over the years a little bit, but it has always remained a stigma and people don't talk about it. But here, when you're confronted with people saying, I may be depressed, right? I'm like, oh my God, what do I do with it now, right? So those sort of sudden impacts and challenges there. But the greatest thing was to learn and to understand is to say, hang on, I'm not very good at this, but let me see who can help with this, right? And that was the greatest thing about Australia. And I was told this very right at the beginning, and that's how I managed to learn through how to deal with this. And rather than messing it up, to be short. So that was the greatest thing. But these are challenges because you're from different country, different culture, different situation to a totally different place and new things to pick up on.
And what about personal challenges, Seshu? Were there any particular personal challenges you faced?
Personal challenges, yes. You need to, wonder, what will my wife do? Do I have employment for my wife, right? Is she going to sit at home, or how is she going to work through this? What about my children, depending on the ages, right? When I came, my son was 4 years old, so that was fine. I got him to the local school. Surprisingly, he was the only colored boy in the school. Right? So that was a challenge for him, looking around and seeing that everybody is looking different. And we had people helping us through all that. These are sort of challenges that we need to be prepared. But having said that, in 17 years, a lot has changed in Australia. A lot more migration in here. So these kind of situations don't happen so much. So it's very different at this point of time. And trying to find your right food. So that was a challenge. So you need to go and get groceries that you are used to. So trying to get to the city, drive 2 hours for that and bring your groceries. Of course, it's again changed. So those are the sort of personal challenges that we were faced with at that time. And of course, the other thing was language. Language, I always prided myself of getting an 8 across the board in IELTS. But when you come here and says, I always laugh at this now in retrospect. Somebody said, how are you going? And I said, going by car. What he was asking me was, how are you? So as simple as that, right? I mean, we can keep talking all night about it, but those are the sort of things. So understanding the Australian language and Australian slang is very important. For doctors especially.
Yeah, I think Seshu's going to talk about this towards the end, but you can actually learn a lot from your patients, particularly in the early days. Don't be afraid to ask them questions, to explain things, and put yourself in the learner role and then make them in the teacher role, particularly around things like language, which can be very strange and odd at times. I worked with a lot of IMG doctors and seen a lot of challenges around language and culture initially. And so I can certainly empathize with what you're saying there.